Okay, here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the third vidIQ channel reviews live stream. My name is Rob, here at vidIQ Towers, wherever they may be. That's a bit of a mystery. And if you're not familiar with this series, what we do here is we do live channel reviews or channel audits of YouTubers' channels to help them maybe fix a few things, pick out the good parts of a channel, and generally just help people as much as possible on these live streams. So I am doing a live stream here, and there's lots of people saying hello here. So quick shout out to many regulars here: Frosted GH, Flyride, Gladys Aquatics, Brain Spanking News, Matthew Walker, TS Replay, Simulation with Daniel, one of our moderators. Hello to you. Northern Exotics, JAB's Adventures, Sydix, How to Fix It Mystery, Drop It, 5-Minute Tuber, Star Tube. Wow, Willie, well, there's so many people I can hardly keep up. Me Mixility, Luke Outdoors, Chazinator, Sido YT, Kibi Nation, Zach Tech Reviews, BC Truck Rebuild and Repair. There's some familiar faces, but also some new ones as well. So hello to all of you and welcome to this live stream. Before we jump into the channel reviews, as usual, a bit of housekeeping. If anybody is on this channel, if anybody's on this live stream and enjoys it, you don't have to do it right now. You could do it in 20 minutes time, 5 minutes time. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. And also, if you have access to your social media right now, please do share this on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, wherever, to try and get as many people in to contribute to what is certainly a community session of the live stream. Because while I'm going to be reviewing your channel, we also keep the live chat. I always get my pointing the wrong way around. The live chat will be down here, and you should be reading the comments there to pick up any advice that can be garnered from other YouTubers, because I can give you my objective opinion through vidIQ tools, some of my subjective opinions, but there's all sorts of successful YouTubers out there on this live stream who may also want to provide their own positive or constructive feedback, and that's one way it will earn you a channel review, because I'm not here to just review channels from people who say, pit me, pit me, pit me, and don't contribute to the chat. I'm here to review channels from people who are part of the vidIQ community, but also making sure that they build their own communities and understand the value of the message that they have, whether it be positive comments about other people's channels or the value that they're spreading on their own videos. So I think that's the general housekeeping out of the way, other than to say big shout out as usual to my moderators who are on here today: Simulation with Daniel, Extra Sessions Media, even Schrauf. I'm going to pronounce your surname as. I've seen you all in the moderators list so far, so big thank you to every one of you. And yeah, those are the general housekeeping rules of the live stream. Now onto the channel reviews themselves. Let me just tell you how this works in general. As I've just said, and for anybody who's watching this live stream on repeat, you probably want to fast forward to about 8 to 10 minutes into the live stream, and that's when we'll start looking at the channel reviews. But I have to go through all these things first just to make sure that everybody who's new to this live stream understands how it's going to work and if their channel is going to get picked. So channels are picked based on the contribution to the live stream. It's not dependent on super chats. That's a way that you can financially donate to a channel. I don't want to separate or bring in a monetary barrier to people who are on this live stream to whether their channel gets reviewed. The channel review is free, but the idea is that you're contributing positively to the chat, and the moderators are monitoring this chat and helping me pick channels to review. I can't review channels with inappropriate content, so if there's any swearing on it or any foul or abusive language, I understand that's acceptable on YouTube, but I can't do it on a live stream. And if I do see any, I will just have to stop the review there and then and move on to the next channel. I've said this before and I've been completely wrong. I want to try and spend 5 to 10 minutes per channel. So I want to try and be a bit more streamlined, not waffle on too much about people's channels, and give you more value than possible, rather than spending too much time on one particular channel. And if you see any features or interesting analytics that you've never seen before on pages when I show my browser, those will all come from the vidIQ tool. And if you haven't got the vidIQ tool, it is free to download. There is a paid service as well, but there'll be links in the description if you want to download the vidIQ vidIQ tool, just in case you're not familiar with what we do here. And there's plenty more videos on the vidIQ channel about how to use the tool. But yeah, some of the features seen in this live stream will include my tool, the vidIQ tools. Okay, so once I pick a channel, these are the things that I'm looking for on the channel itself to try and give you a better understanding of how to improve it or what you're doing right. I'm trying to look for a message or a value proposition. I'm trying to establish what's your target audience and what message are you trying to give to your audience, or who should be watching and why. Because if I'm not sure, and I'm maybe probably a brand new visitor to your channel, then other visitors and your audience might not be sure as well. And that's one of the most important things on YouTube, is to clearly define who you want to be speaking to about what topics. I'll have a general look at your channel health, branding, consistency. So if you've got a good layout and channel banner, if you're using an avatar, does it include a profile picture, those sorts of things. How often are you posting videos? We'll check some statistics on that. I'll also be looking at channel layouts, whether you're using a variety of playlists and how well you're using them, if you're using thumbnails properly, whether you make custom thumbnails, and the type of content that you're doing, like how do the titles match previous content, and can I start to get an understanding of the flavor of your content. Then we'll look into the videos in a bit more detail, video titles, tags, descriptions, are you using them correctly, and audience and engagement. You're building a community on your channel. Does that mean that you're responding to your community? As we do here in the live chats, this is one way I'm trying to build a greater community here on vidIQ. I want you to contribute, which you are doing fantastically already. And I did see a super chat go past earlier on. I think it was West Bosnia. Thank you for that. Yeah, are you responding to your audience as much as possible? And any other points of interest, because there's always something interesting that comes up on the live streams, which I'm not expecting, but I then spot and try and point out. So those are the bullet points of the channel review. And so we're going to get straight into it now. I'm on 7 minutes, so that's pretty much right for the replay people. And just one more thing, if you are replaying this live stream, you might want to play at double speed. It means you can get through a lot more content quicker, because this will be around about an hour in length. The first channel we're going to look at is Ethan Schrauf. The reason I'm choosing Ethan is he's one of the moderators here who's looking through all your chats and helping out. And it's only fair that I do the channel reviews of these people who are contributing a massive amount to vidIQ through these live streams, and I really do appreciate it. So, as I say, as I look through the channels, I want you to be contributing as well. Your opinions on the channel, the videos, and anything else that you might spot as we go through it. Right, so Ethan Schrauf, here we go. Here we have a channel here with 653 subscribers, and he has 14,000 views. The channel, relatively young, started in November of 2016. And let's just go back to the homepage and see what's going on here on the channel banner. You have a clearly defined channel banner. I like the branding and the colouring, some nice contrasts there. We've got pictures of you there, although you've covered yourself with the camera a little bit, trying to be maybe a little sneaky there. You've got some links to your other social media accounts, which is good as well. One thing I would say is that at the moment, looking at the channel, I don't know what it's about. You'll have a camera in your hand, so it kind of maybe suggests that you may be into video editing specifically. And we don't necessarily have a schedule of your videos, so we can see it's like a personality. That's your channel name as well, your name. So I'm going to have to go to your about page and try and understand a bit more what your channel is about. You are, of course, Ethan Schrauf, video editor that has only over 30,000 followers on Funnymate. I must admit, I don't know what Funnymate is. You have a passion for YouTube, and it would mean the world if you would check out my videos and subscribe. I love to make tutorials and storytime videos. Thank you for checking out my channel. Okay, you like to make tutorials. In that case, tell us what the tutorials are about. And you do storytime videos. what kind of story time videos they are about. Maybe you can include this somewhere in your channel banner, whether it be pictures of cameras, lighting, that sort of thing. Might just give the audience a bit of a better understanding as they immediately visit your channel. Going to try and have a look at the stats here. This doesn't always work for smaller channels. It doesn't look as if it got enough statistics here, but we can see that you're using some channel tags here. So we've got iPhone tutorials, Final Cut Pro, video editor. So yeah, maybe you want to include those icons in your channel banner somewhere to give the viewer a better understanding that you do tutorials on those specific things. That might help. Have a look at your homepage now. You don't have a trailer. It's a story time with or whatever your content is about. Again, that can be a personal preference. I think it tends to be better to have a tutorial, especially, sorry, not a tutorial, a trailer, because I haven't gleaned enough information from your channel banner. Maybe a trailer to introduce your channel would be a little better. It looks as if you have changed your thumbnail, your playlist, so we don't just have a classic most popular and recent uploads. There is some, it looks as if you're focusing on Funimate, and again, that might be something you want to mention in your channel banner. You don't have to mention everything, not all Final Cut Pro and Funimate, but maybe the thing that you're most passionate about would be useful. And the other playlists haven't quite got enough content in these ones. I guess you're developing them at the moment. Popular videos. So you have the beginnings of a playlist layout, but maybe you don't have enough content yet. I am liking the thumbnails though, and we'll look at that in a minute. We'll just see what playlists you have. So you've got 3 playlists: Storytime, Social Media Hacks, Funimate. So 3 playlists. I think I need to know how many videos you've done in total then. Okay, so here's some interesting and positive feedback for you. Ethan, you've only done 11 videos, and you've already got 650 subscribers, and you've already got, I think, what was it, about 15,000 views. So that's excellent work, I would say, for a small channel. You have, let's have a look at your timeline, but you seem to have had some big breaks, like 7 months ago, 4 months ago, and then 3 months ago. So consistency looks as if it's a potential issue here. Whether you haven't got time because of schoolwork, completely understand that. If you could maybe try and fit in a video every 2 weeks or every week, that would be fantastic. The video length here isn't that long, but we haven't seen a video itself, so I don't know how much editing and effort you're putting into each of these videos. Branding wise, fairly consistent. I mean, we have what I'd say Instagram video, Funimate tutorial, and then these 3 down here all do have a similar branding, and I like some thumbnails better than others, like when you include a stroke, that looks good, or here when you have this fancy little feature on your head, your special effect. One thing I think you might be missing out on here, though, is maybe bigger icons for what you're talking about. Like, this is a good thumbnail for Snapchat because you include the icon in the background. But in this Instagram hacks one, you include the Instagram coloring, but not necessarily the icon. So maybe it's not immediate. But it's about, well, I guess it is quite obviously about Instagram, but just an icon on there just to make it as clear as possible. But I can see development here. There's one here for Funimate, and you moved from that thumbnail to this thumbnail, so a better background, foreground contrast, and then the stroke of you making yourself much more viewable. And there is a definite evolution of the thumbnails here. And maybe for this thumbnail, it's different because it's about story time. So clearly something of a different series, so maybe I can understand that. The font, though, may be disappearing a little bit into the background because it's a sort of a grey gradient versus a grey background. But generally speaking, with the number of videos you've done, which is 11, I think you're doing fantastic. You've got a good amount of subscribers and you've got a good number of views. Like, I can see here that Funimate, you have 3 videos on Funimate and they all seem to be the most popular ones. Let's just sort by most popular. And that will probably confirm it. Yeah, there we are. So the 4 videos that you've done the most successful content on are Funnymate. So if I was you, I would do more videos on Funnymate if they're still relevant. I don't know if it's around anymore because 7 months ago, 3 months ago, does that mean you stopped because Funnymate doesn't exist? I don't know there. I'm showing a little bit of naivety in the product. But you've had success there, and if you can, then capitalize on it. Let's have a look at your most successful video in that series. I'm going to let the video run for 15 seconds.
Hey guys, it's Ethan, and I'm back with a new video. Sorry I haven't gone for so long, but I finally got a new setup, so I'm back with some new videos. Today,
one question, are you looking at the camera or the viewfinder? Just a little thing I've picked up on there, and I'm guilty of this. So try and make sure to look at the camera if you can. Maybe you do that in future videos, but that's just a small thing.
Today I'm going to be teaching you how to get featured on Funnymate. Now let's get on with the video. So the first thing...
Good example of an intro there. 17 seconds long. You give an introduction of what you're going to do, and then a quick intro splash screen, which was very short. What was it, about 3 seconds? So I don't think there's anything to really complain about there. I think that's good stuff. Video tags here. Some excellent examples of video tags here, folks. Look at this. We've got a mixture of short keywords, so Funnymate, tutorial, popular, famous, and then the longer tail keywords. And this is exactly what you should be doing as a small channel, is looking at those long tail keywords of 4 to 5 words, and then you can start to get ranked on search and suggested. For example, how to get lit on Funnymate. A good title there, but Funnymate tutorial. It's a small keyword, but it's ranked well. Funnymate famous, how to get featured on Funnymate. Wow, that's a lot of F's. I've got to be careful with my pronunciation there, but good examples there of long tail keywords. There may not be that many people searching for them for that content, but if there's 5,000 people searching for that term and you're producing the best content, then you've got a reach of potentially 5,000 people versus trying to reach 15 million people when there's millions of videos about whatever it is. So I would say big thumbs up there on the tags. How to get featured on Funnymate, fairly direct, solid title as well. And I just spilled water all over my mouse, so do bear with me. That's going to be a massive disaster. Maybe you heard that on the camera there. Let's hope my mouse still works. My mouse has stopped working, so if you bear with me, I'm going to be back in about 2 or 3 minutes after I've cleaned all this up. Do apologise. Yeah, I've got a problem here, so I'll be back very shortly. Talk amongst yourselves and comment on Ethan's channel, and I'll be back shortly. What a mistake that was. Okay, I think I'm back after that catastrophic error. I've had to replace my mouse, but hopefully we should be back on the live stream now. I see people are talking about Amazon Prime, which is good. You seem to have entertained yourself there. Okay, I do apologize for that technical hiccup, and that will most certainly be going in some sort of outtake on vidIQ in the future. But that's what happens on live streams, and we're just going to have to go with it. So, Ethan, I was just wrapping up your channel, really, other than to say on your description, I think you're missing out on some metadata here. You're saying, thank you so much for watching this new video. If it helped you get featured on... I wouldn't worry too much about trying to sell your channel at this point. This description here, the first 2 lines are very important for metadata and making sure that your content reaches as many people as possible. So you want to be saying things right at the top here. If you want to get featured on Funimate, then watch this tutorial. We'll be going through like certain keywords to help you. So maybe move this section of the description much further down, or put it in a pinned comment to help you with more exposure through the description. Because if people are seeing that as a description when they're searching for the video, it might not necessarily get them to click on the video. But other than that, I think you're doing excellent work. The big thing for us is we want to see more videos. You've done 11 in about a year. I think with more consistency and doubling down on the particular Funimate topic, if you can, I would absolutely go for that. So that's the first channel, and unfortunately that took a little longer than usual because of the aquatic fiasco. That's what I'm going to call it. We need a new channel to review. So. And moderators, if you feel as if you have a particular one to look at, let me know, and I will put it in the search terms. Oh, my old mouse is working now, so I'm going to have 2 mouses to use, which is good. I think it just needs to dry out. So let us know the channel name, one of the moderators, and I will jump into it. Sydix. I need to be Dix. D-I-X. I need to be very careful with the pronunciation of this. Is it the top results here, I presume? I think it's this one. I just need to confirm. If the owner of the channel could confirm this is yours, and we will crack on with the channel review. Okay, we've got a confirmation. Let's jump into the channel. Sorry, I can't help it yet. Say hello to the channel called Sydix. 23 subscribers. And 3,000 views. A very young channel, joined in June of 2017. Okay, first up, I don't know what this username means, so what's the channel about? I presume it's about video games, judging from the background on your channel banner. It looks as if it's from a video game, and by the chunky, colourful font, it gives off that video game vibe. If I look at the description, what's up? So probably you just accidentally got onto my channel and you think this is a normal channel with some videos, but this channel will give you some of the best and funny gaming content. So it is about gaming content, and you think it's the best and funny gaming content. So video game content, as we all know, is a very saturated market. So what are you focusing your content on? Is it a particular game, or are you just moving through games as you buy them or get them as presents? Are you focusing on tutorials, or you're focusing on outtakes? We need to know more about that in the channel banner if possible, and certainly more about that in the channel description. If we go through the playlist, we've got the most recent uploads playlist looking there at the top. The thumbnails do look colourful. We'll get back to them. And you've got creative playlist, popular uploads. So I think this is definitely missing a playlist which tells us more about what your channel is. I've talked about this on several live streams already, that you should have a playlist that's not necessarily your most popular content, but what best reflects all of the aspects of your channel. So if we can we quickly switch to vidIQ? Let's see if we can. And we will return to your channel Sydix very soon. But one of the things we do on our channel is we have this playlist here called New to Our Channel. Here's what we do. And so we have like all of our tools in one video, and then we have how to use vidIQ, and then like a case study of a channel that's done really successfully, and then a specific look at one of our tools, one of the most popular ones. So that's just a quick demonstration of all the different aspects of the channel, and I think this definitely needs something similar if possible. Playlists. So we have playlists on Fortnite, Overwatch, Star Wars Battlefront, GTA Online, Rocket League. So you have playlists on games, but again, the gaming area is so saturated that the audience probably needs more than this. Like, what particular game are we, what particular aspect of the game are we talking about? Is it Rocket League, multiplayer games, or tutorials, or the outtakes, or the best of? Same with Overwatch and Battle Royale. These are very generic, high-level names for playlists. And remember, playlists can be searched for, they're indexed in YouTube. So when somebody searches for Overwatch, there's a very small chance, a tiny chance, that your playlists and content are going to appear if it just says Overwatch, because there's probably thousands of other videos and playlists in the same topic. Let's have a look at your videos now. So some good branding in the sense that you're using a similar font and a color scheme, and you always have a big focus on one sort of object or topic in each of these thumbnails, which I like, and then a blurred background. So the thumbnail standard is high. It might be worth putting on your channel branding in one of the corners, just so we know that it's your particular channel. It could get lost in similar thumbnails on gaming, because when I think about gaming channel thumbnails, they look very much like this, and so we need to distinguish them a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't play video games that much anymore, so I'm not too far into the genre. Okay, so I can't tell you what specific things are interesting from these games. Looking at your most popular videos now, which were Overwatch, but is it too late now to still concentrate on Overwatch? Airwatch, Flickshot Master, Airshot, Flickshot, Headshot. Is that a particular topic of great interest in the Overwatch world? It may certainly be something that you could capitalize on. And then you have how to get one shot on Fortnite. So I think the thumbnails are good, and the titles certainly are working to a point. It's just it's a classic case of where video games are such a saturated market. There's so many video creators working on producing content on video games that it's hard to break into. Let's have a look at one of your most popular videos. The like to dislikes ratio is quite high, although that doesn't seem to be quite right in the results there. Okay, I'll just play it for 15-20 seconds, see where we get.
Oh crap! Oh crap! Why is this so long? Right boys, hope we can kill some people, because my aim these days is just
Frog King.
I think I was going to pause it there because it sounded like there may be some words that we didn't want to listen to there, but there was some editing, some interesting editing going on at the beginning with sound. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, where you just make a huge noise and roar and the camera shakes, and an introduction that was about 3 seconds long, so the introduction seemed fine. Again, same with Ethan a little bit here. You may be missing out on your description. Overwatch, Flickshot, Master, Airshot, Flickshot, Headshot. Just seems like you're dumping tags into a description there, and maybe missing out on a more of a cohesive sentence. You really want to be pitching your video in those 2 sentences that viewers can see, or your potential audience can see when you're clicking on a video. So yeah, maybe think about that. And tags seem to be generally good. Like, you've ranked high for a few things here. Overwatch, Flickshot, Master. Is anybody searching for those terms? I would think possibly not that many. But again, with 24 subscribers, to get a video with 1,000 views, that's good. Not much in terms of engagement there. So yeah, in general, things are that we need to know more about what your channel is about from your channel page, like in the description. Are you going to be covering any particular games? The thumbnails are very good. Intros seem as if you have some structure in there, but I don't think we can watch any further. There might be some inappropriate stuff there. And as a small channel at this point, I would say, yeah, just keep on with it. And hopefully you can find a niche in the video game market, because it's so difficult to break into. If you're hearing any sound effects, by the way, I think that's my mouse that just keeps plugging in and unplugging itself due to the water issue that we have. I'm just giving my table another quick wipe down here to try and stop it from happening. So there you are, Sydix. I hope you found some useful stuff there. And we'll move on to another channel, please, if possible. Somebody can throw one my way. A few moderators. Luke Outdoors. Okay, Luke Outdoors. That's a familiar name. I think we know who this is going to be. I think it's this channel, but I will always appreciate a confirmation here before we go any further. I do apologise once again for the technical difficulties we've had in this live stream. I just hope you found it hilarious, because now it means I'm going to have to go buy a new mouse. Luke Outdoors, okay, he confirms that this is his channel. Let's take a look. Very bold, simple channel banner. What do you think? I think that it simple, and it tells you exactly what this channel is about. But it feels to me almost like a warning, like a warning sign. But for all things fishing. It might match your channel branding, because I can see on your thumbnails that you have this, certainly this very bold red approach going on. But we'll look at more about that in a couple of minutes. 162 subscribers for this channel. Joined in 2008. So we'll have to see when you actually started making videos. 53,000 views. Your name is Luke. You're a UK fisherman who vlogs his sessions, provides tackle tips, and just enjoys fishing. Fairly honest about that. That's good stuff. Now, what's missing here, folks, from the channel layout? It's not got a autoplay video. So one thing, whether or not you have a channel trailer or you show your best video, it's always worth having a video that also plays, because you've got maybe 30 seconds to grab the viewer, get them to click on that subscribe button, or be enticed into one of your videos. At this point, you're having to give the audience more work to do. They've got to click on one of your videos, go into playlists, click on the About tab to find out more about what Luke Outdoors is. So certainly include a video, if possible, whatever that video may be. And we haven't got that many playlists either. Just to create a playlist and your what looks to be most recent uploads. So again, going back to the welcome to Luke Outdoors, here's what we do here type of playlist, just to show the different aspects. I mean, going back to your description, you talked about tackle tips, enjoy sessions. So there's like 3 strands there. If you want to try and include a video on each of those topics, that might be helpful. Playlist wise, is it just the 3? Yeah, just the 3 videos that we have. Next thing I want to find out is how long you've actually been making YouTube videos. Okay, so you made 2 videos 9 years ago, and it looks like you redid the thumbnail on this particular video, maybe because it had 2,000 views. And then you've started coming back into fishing and doing videos on a more regular basis 3 months ago. What do we have here? About 25 to 30 videos, fairly consistent, 1 or 2 a week. We don't know that because you don't tell us in your About section or your channel banner. But consistency now seems fairly good. The thumbnails are branded well in a sense that we can tell exactly what your video is, who you are. And I don't know if those sound effects are coming through on the I think they are, right. I'm gonna have to pause the desktop audio because those sound effects are probably frustrating you and they're frustrating me as well. Okay, so the thumbnails, yeah, it's clearly identifiable that it is you. One warning I would potentially give with having red borders on thumbnails is that when you play a video, I'm going to try this, see if it works. Let's say you get a minute through the video. So we've watched 50% of it. And then we go back to the videos that we've watched. Can you see now there's a red line? So we have our likes and dislikes bar here, but there's also a red line here, which is difficult to see. That's how far through the video we've currently watched it. And if you have red borders, it makes this timeline of the playback much more difficult to see. So yes, that would be a huge change to your channel, especially if you're using the red outline. But just a little thing that's pointed out to me once when I started using a red border on my thumbnails. The thumbnails themselves, you need perhaps to use more focus on a particular object or subject and the contrast between light and dark. The problem with the thumbnails that we have here is that you're using a very bright red and that dominates the thumbnail, and it's then difficult to pick out the subject of the thumbnail. Let's see, like my first bait catcher, I can't really tell what that is. To me, that looks like the viewfinder of a camera lens. So even if you need to take a picture from like the product, which is a lot clearer, and then I think you need to maybe think about that. Like, again, Happy New Year here. It's too big compared to the subject, which is perhaps yourself and holding whatever that is, presumably some fish. Out with JJR Survival. So obviously I know who JJR Survival is. He's another contributor, a fantastic contributor to the channel, to vidIQ. And it would be fantastic if you had a picture of him in the thumbnail of you two, maybe having a chat, sat down, or just something so we can see the other collaborator in that video. And this one here, Trace Making for Beginners. all I can see is that your face is covered up by the text. So a lot of the text is a repeat of on the thumbnail. Text on the thumbnail is a repeat of a title. So you may want to think about either reducing the text size a lot or just getting rid of it and selling the video based on the content rather than having to reinforce the text. If we just have a look, so make your own leads, how to make lead fishing, how to tie Palomar knots, and it's repeated in the title. And I just don't think that's necessary. It'd be much better in this thumbnail, for example, to have a much bigger image of that knot so we can see the different knots within the cable or tie. And that would really help there, I think. Well, look at your most popular video. See why that was so successful. Best snare in the world. So that was the one that was from 9 years ago. This one's also from 9 years ago. The two most popular ones. So we can't really pick on those as videos to capitalize off. But the how-to one is the most successful video at the moment, a tutorial. So, and you talk about tutorials in your channel description. So that may be certainly a road to go down. Focus on tutorials and really make the thumbnail stand out. That might be useful. And we'll take a look at this most popular video. Sorry, I've just realised I'm playing this video as well, and you can't see that, you can't listen to the audio at the moment. So, I know some people are going to maybe criticise the camera quality here or the audio not being right, but my response to that is, as a YouTuber, you should never be afraid or worried about people's opinions on your video content when you're starting out and you're learning things, and you just get the best camera you have at a time and you use it in the best way. And I think that's absolutely fine. And I would just encourage you to keep working at using whatever equipment you've got. The audio was good, even though you couldn't hear it, but the audio was good. And that's probably you can get away more with a more simple camera compared to a more simple audio. If your audio is really bad, that really turns off viewers. In this video, I will show you how to make your own fishing weights using the following equipment needed. Okay, so some good information there in the description. I don't think you need this bit in this video. I will show you. The viewer probably already knows that if they've clicked on the video. I would just get straight into a good description about what you're going to be doing in this video. And the keywords here, if we look, multi-lead, melting lead, making lead fishing weights, how to make fishing weights. These are all what would appear to be good tags, and you've used several. Again, just as a small channel, it's always going to be very difficult to break into the search rankings on a higher basis. But I like the description, there's plenty there. And not that many comments, but you've replied to one of them, but not the other. So, although it's only 2 comments, reply to as many comments as possible, as much as possible, just to generate more interest in the community. And the engagement's fairly good as well. If we just go back to the channel now, let's see if there's anything else we can pick up. Yeah, so the summary things are, for the channel banner, maybe you want to decide a bit more how to sell yourself, maybe like a schedule. and the thumbnails I think need work. If I was going to be looking at these thumbnails, I would test removing the text, maybe making the borders a little thinner as well. I still think a border's fine, but making the borders thinner, and trying produce a better thumbnail which has you more in focus if you possibly can. I mean, this is like a good way. If you're having trouble with getting good pictures, you can always bring in graphics and icons to give them a little more color and add a bit of spice. So there we are, Luke Outdoors. Best of luck with your channel, and I hope you and JJR Survival can continue to make great content and contribute to the community as much as possible. Let's have another video, please. And I've seen moderators saying, please don't ask to say me. I'm asking the moderators for the next channel to review. So yeah, if you just start posting me, that probably gives you less of a chance of having your video reviewed. Rocket Engine Gaming. Okay, I'm going to try and type that out and see if we can get there. Look to be all one word. Engine. I will click on that channel and we will wait for a confirmation from Rocket Engine Gaming to see if that's the right one. Looks to be the right one. Rocket Engine Gaming, I can see you posting in the comments. That's the one. Okay, let's have a look at Rocket Engine Gaming. Another gaming channel here with 203 subscribers. Joined in January of last year, so about a year old. 8,000 views. This is a channel of gaming which includes any game suggested, but mostly Fortnite. So if I was you, I would just go all in with Fortnite. If that's the game that you really want to cover and you're passionate about, then go for it. I would be very careful, however, of doing this in your description, your tag stuffing there, and that is against YouTube's terms of service. If you're doing it in your video descriptions, you need to be very careful, or YouTube could give you a strike or do something even worse with your channel. So just be aware of that. Tag stuffing, it doesn't work really anymore either on YouTube, but yeah, something to certainly be considerate of. Now then, Rocket Engine Gaming. I can see that you have the Fortnite characters in there. Is there any particular reason why it's called Rocket Engine? Is that something to do with the game? I'm not sure if people are going to be familiar with what that term is. And maybe something to think about there on the channel banner to just give it a bit more clarity on what your channel is about. You do include a video of some kind. It's not an intro, but it's the best pinch goal in Rocket League, so it does have an enticing title. It may be something that I would click on to look at. I'm just looking at the description there, though. We'll maybe look at that in more detail on another video, but if that's your description, it's a complete waste of a description. Don't talk about enjoying the video and subscribe for more, like and comments. You can do that in the video itself. In the description where people are searching for content, this is an opportunity for you to sell your video and you're not doing it. That's a message for people who are already watching the video, and it doesn't need to be in the description. Uploads are the classic 2 of recent uploads and popular uploads. So as usual, we want to see a video that best reflects your content as opposed to what's new and recent. Some good view counts here, though. I mean, I'm just looking. You have a subscribers 203, but you've got 600 views on this, 400 views on this, 3,000 on that one. Fantastic. So this is a channel that is outpacing its subscriber base, and that is usually a very good sign. Look at playlists. Oh, you do not have virtually any playlists. So if you're a channel about Fortnite, if you're going to be looking at particular aspects of Fortnite, then absolutely you need to be producing more playlists. Playlists are searchable. YouTube treats it as new content, so you could upload a video, create a playlist on separate days, and YouTube treats that as different content. So absolutely think about creating some playlists specifically. So you've been on YouTube for about a year, but you've only been creating videos for a month. But I would say, again, some impressive statistics here. Your first videos are already getting hundreds of views. And I know for a lot of small YouTubers, that can be the first breakthrough, really, to try and get videos that are getting an audience. And these ones certainly are already, which is fantastic news. Just looking at the schedule here, so you have 3 in the last week and then 3 in the last 2 weeks. So the schedule is good as well. It looks to be about 10 videos a month. So that's 1 every 3 days. Good consistency for YouTube. Let's have a look at your most... Well, just first of all, the thumbnails. The thumbnails are good. You're certainly putting a lot of effort into building up the graphics on them. We haven't got a channel. I don't think we can see your branding on any of them. So like Squad Destroyer, we could do with your Rocket Engine Gaming branding somewhere on there. Because if we look back to Sydix thumbnails, certainly that one, it could easily be mistaken for a Sydix video on Fortnite as well, if people were just searching through content. So more of a way to distinguish your content might be good. World Record Snipe, that's quite an enticing title though. I do like that. This snipe alone is worth watching. So there's some nice, I'm not going to go as far as saying clickbaity titles, but that is a good title to try and attract people into the video. So I'll give you a thumbs up there. Let's look at this video, and hopefully there is some good content here. As always, I'll try and play the first 15 seconds of the content. I'm going to put the audio back up as well. Bit of a bizarre intro, that, I must admit. It looks as if it was taken from the game, so it had no channel branding on it or anything, and we didn't hear anything from yourself. Is this going to be a collection of clip videos? If it is, that's okay. It works for some channels, and it's obviously working for yours. Maybe if you can include an introduction by yourself at the beginning, that might be useful. Something to think about there. And yeah, just again, going back to the description, there needs to be more in the description here, which isn't tag stuffing. You do need to be really careful about that. I know it may be working right now, but if YouTube spots this, it's breaking their terms of service, because there must be like 2,000 or 3,000 characters in there of tags. YouTube will punish you for that if you continue to do it. Make sure your tags are going into the video tags here. Something I'm also noticing here is that you've only got 6 likes and 1 dislikes and 3,000 views. So that's curious as well. I don't know where your views are coming from. Is your video being shared externally, or is there something else going on here? You have about 8 or 9 comments, and you are giving them likes. Well, you're loving them, and you are responding to them, so that's good stuff. And people are actually commenting on the progression of your videos, like your transitions between different music isn't so good, and you've reused some clips, so some constructive feedback there, which you've taken on board, and you're saying good. You've listened to the suggestions, excellent. But yeah, this is something that we can't really answer in a channel review, but you're getting views from somewhere, and I'm not necessarily sure where, because your engagement is very low. You've only got 0.5% engagement. So it would be useful to know where the engagement's coming from. So fix your descriptions. Maybe think about something a little more on your channel banner to tell people what your channel's about. But for a channel that's only been going for a month, There's some positive things here, but I would have to do some more research to check if there's anything a little odd going on there. Another channel, if possible, from the moderators, please. And we'll check it out. I'm just reading some of the comments here, and then somebody's saying tag stuffing and possible view botting. So yeah, there is potential on that. Obviously, I'm not going to accuse a channel of doing that, but the analytics and the numbers there are showing some things that don't quite match up with what you would expect on a channel. So yeah, Rocket Engine Gaming, do be careful if you're doing anything along those lines. It could get you in trouble down in the future, and that's just not something you want to do. Brain Spanking News. Let's check out this channel. If we can find, if we can not get references to Family Guy. Oh, it's because I spelled. I put Brian instead. There we go. Brain Spanking News. I don't think that's a channel that exists. Okay, let's just confirm this is the correct channel for Brain Spanking News. Yeah, somebody's just saying Brain Spanking News. That's a channel name. I love that as a channel name. You learn a lot about a channel from its channel name, and it's certainly a good one. Okay, let's check out this channel. I think this is the right channel. I've looked at it before. So the banner is I suspect that if you look at this on a mobile, the banner, some of the banner is going to disappear. And somebody also said it was repetitive. So awesome, brain, body, mind, awesome. And the colours, I don't think, work quite that well. Green, red, and a bit of light blue, and some dark. So I think it feels as if we've just had some different aspects plonked together here, like a picture, some bright green text, and some darker red text of potentially different fonts. And it doesn't include the channel name either, so you could almost forgive somebody for thinking this channel is called Body Mind Awesome or Awesome. Anyway, let's move on to the channel in a bit more detail. Subscribers, 34. Another small channel formed in July 2016, 2,800 views. Let's have a read of a description. Welcome, friends. This journey of true health and healing for me started a number of years ago when I was suffering from numerous health issues. It became apparent that I'm trying to work with doctors and others at the healthcare industry when I was more knowledgeable. Ended up firing my doctor and began a mission of self-healing. So, bit of a long description there, but it looks as if this is a journey of self-healing. And I think you need to encapsulate that into a sentence of some kind and stick it on there a bit more than other than body, mind, awesome. And now we start to understand a little bit more about the channel name, Brain Spanking News. So is it about news or is it about opinions and journeys and stories? The message I'm getting from the description and the channel banner doesn't quite match up to the channel name itself. Back to the homepage. 5 steps to maximum health. Toxins and toxics, optimize sleep. Truth and health is easy, so take yours back. It looks as if you have thumbnails from other people as well. But, of course, I've just noticed Brain Spanking News is following the vidIQ steps here of telling us what the channel's about. And you kind of get that. I had to come down to this part of the playlist to understand what the channel's about, but it's giving me more information now. And it doesn't want to make me look at the other videos in this section. So we can see that there's some tutorials and there's a bit of opinion here as well. What else do we have? Nutrition coaching, powerful nutrition and health talks. And I like the fact that you're actually taking other people's content and putting it in your playlists. It means that there's a potential for people to enjoy your content, but also see a different point of view or something that supplements your content that you've not been able to cover yourself yet. And so I do like that. There's never necessarily anything wrong with including other people's content in your playlist as long as you have your own content there. So you'd be benefiting from session watch time even if somebody's not watching your content, because you were the landing point for a video for a person entering YouTube. You would still get some credit for that. Playlist wise, a good healthy amount of playlists there. And I think I do remember that you also have another channel which is Corby's Corner, and you've included those videos there, so that's fine. You're sharing content from other YouTube channels that you have. So a good healthy range of playlists there. But then we get to an interesting point here that you have not that many videos yet. So again, a very small channel that sort of did something a year ago and then disappeared for 9 months, then another video. So consistency obviously is something you perhaps need to work on a little bit more. I mean, with these 5 steps to maximum health, I presume you're going to go through these over the next week, it looks like, but have you got anything else lined up after that, which you're going to cover? And something else I would also look at is with the thumbnails here, they need to be a little different. 5 simple steps, number 3. 5 simple steps, number 2. Maybe you want to change the thumbnail a little bit to include something about toxins and toxics, or how to optimize sleep. It's maximum health, yes, but this person clearly doesn't look as if they're asleep. So maybe the thumbnail needs to represent the title a little more. And again, another question, do you need the text in there? I suppose it does keep consistency. Another thing I would also point out is that the thumbnails are very different from the 6 videos that we have here, in that these 2 look to be the best thumbnails, and then the quality I would say is not quite as good in the other 2. That's a really good thumbnail, I would say. So why have the thumbnails changed from where they were such a long time ago? Well, really, let's have a look at the most popular video you have here.
Hello, fellow health and science hackers. This is Anthony Reed. Welcome to Brain Spanking News. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Whole Foods Vitamin C Complex, why it's a scam, and why synthetic vitamin C is as natural as your birthday suit. Then stick around because I'm going to show you how to get the most nutrient-dense vegetables, and they're not from your produce section.
Introduction there was fine, a little long. Something I also noticed as well is your camera has some weird focusing going on. Now this video is a year old, so I don't know if you've resolved this, but if you're not going to be moving around much on camera, you can put your camera, if it's capable of doing this, into manual focus mode, so it doesn't try and keep auto-focusing. Just make sure you find your focus point before you start recording and you're set in place. That can be a little distracting when the autofocus keeps going on. You've got some good SEO here, some high-ranking SEO for vitamin C's. So that would be certainly a good tag to have. But you've also included it with some longer tail keywords as well, such as carnivores make their own vitamin C. I'm not sure many people are going to be searching for that. So you might want to be a bit more strategic about the specific tags that you use, but there's a lot of tags being used and a combination of long and short tail ones as well. So the description, the Whole Foods vitamin C complex is a scam. Here's a lay down a little scientific and logic. So I think there's some good keywords in there, such as vitamin C. Do you include vitamin C complex as a scam in your tags? That might be one that's worth putting in. And it's interesting that you put what is potentially quite a polarizing opinion or fact, whichever way that is in the video. That might be worth putting in the video title as well, or perhaps even in the thumbnail, because that's going to court certainly interest. And then whether you have a good reaction to that or not, at least you're getting an audience into the video and engaging in a conversation. Because there's always this, I'm not going to say fine line, because it's usually quite obvious when a video is clickbaity, but at the same time, some video channels don't go far enough to entice a viewer into clicking on a video. It's more like click tasty or click delicious rather than click baity. This video has generated a couple of bits of feedback, and it looks as if you've replied to all of them as well, which is good. So some generally positive things there for Brain Spanking News. The channel really has only been going for 2 weeks, in the sense that you have 4 videos in the last 2 weeks, and then consistency is all over the place before that. So that's certainly the first thing I would work at, is getting consistency up, and some branding as well on the thumbnails, because each of these thumbnails are completely different, and you wouldn't necessarily be able to tell that they're from the same video creator as well. There you are, Brain Spanking News. Good luck with your channel. I hope you can add some more things to that. Let's have one more channel, please. I'm going to review one more, and they've all been small channels, which has been good. In previous videos, previous channel reviews, we've been looking at some much larger channels, but in this one, we've been looking at some smaller channels. Drop It from Extra Sessions Media. That might be a difficult channel to find, but we will certainly look for it and see if we can find it. If you could give me maybe an indication of how many subscribers the channel has, that would help. Because there's quite a few channels here. Oh, I see it. Drop It. I can see your channel. Yep, it's the bottom one. We will just click on this and confirm it is the channel, and then we'll go into the review. So just before we go further into this Drop It, is there any inappropriate language in these music videos? It looks to be lyric tracks and videos, and I won't be able to really do much with this channel if there are too many inappropriate bits of content in there. So if you could just give me feedback on that, and that will help if I maybe don't play a video. He says he or she says probably not. We'll find out. We'll take the risk. Okay, Drop It is... if you've got any dope lyric videos or official videos, you can send it to me and I'll upload it if you like. Okay, I'm already worried about that. We'll probably need to look at the videos here. Whose content is this, is my question already. Is this your own content, or are you just uploading musical content from others? Is there a copyright issue here? There's alarm bells going off here, which means that I'm not sure how much information we can give you. I mean, the channel branding on the videos is good. A problem with music channels tends to be is there is no, I guess, potential for community here. It's very often the case that viewers will just come and listen to a music track, enjoy the music track, but then they're done. What reason is there to subscribe to this channel unless you're able to really get a lot of viewers subscribing and enjoying the specific content that you have? You've got 500 subscribers. We'll just check the view count. 52,000 views, and the channel's about 40 months old, which is fine. But yeah, there is an issue here. I don't know if there's a copyright issue here, and it's almost impossible to answer that during the channel review. And just plain music channels are difficult to really give an opinion on, because what's the aim here? Why are you uploading this music to YouTube? Is it because you want people to just listen to the music and enjoy it, or are you wanting to put ads on these music videos? There's a real, I guess, contrast between a service such as SoundCloud or Spotify and YouTube. YouTube's more than just about having music, although there are a lot of music videos. These are all from the most popular musicians, and the video aspect of those musicians can be very important, but the trickle down effect, it doesn't really carry much weight on YouTube. So for me to really give you an accurate bit of feedback is to know why these music tracks are here, and at the same time, are you doing any sort of opinions or commentary on any of these music videos, or not? So we'll have a look at the most popular video. So this worries me more, that there's a Justin Bieber song here. It's a remix. So again, maybe that makes it an acceptable one. Who's the author? So yeah, there's a big copyright question here, and I think you'd have to really tell us about that. I'm going to click on the video. I'm going to pause the video immediately and see if there's any sort of credits being given in the description. You've got download this song. Okay, so the disclaimer is here. We don't own this music or background. If you have it, okay. So again, the worry here, if you are the owner of this music or background and you want me to remove it, so you're uploading music and content which you don't have permission for, and that makes it almost impossible to give you feedback on, because if this will probably be against YouTube's terms of service, and that's not something that we can really cover here in the channel reviews, unfortunately. So yeah, I wish I could help you out more, but the content doesn't look as if it's going to be appropriate for me to cover. Okay, and that is the final channel review of this live stream. I just want to apologize so much for this glass of water that caused me so many problems. I think it's broken my mouse now because it doesn't look as if it's on. I mean, there's no power. It's still got some water on it. There's no power on it, so that might be a dead mouse, unfortunately. And I'm going to have to try and fix that. Maybe I'm just going to have to think about where I put my glass of water next time I'm doing channel reviews. So apologies if this felt like a bit of a broken set of channel reviews. But we got through quite a lot of small channels there, and I hope you picked up some useful tips. As always, I'm super appreciative of the moderators who've been looking through all of the comments and suggesting what channels to look at next. And there were 1 or 2 gaming channels there. I don't want to cover gaming channels all the time, but there we are. I will say thank you very much again for joining the live stream. I'll be back next Tuesday. This one was at 1 p.m. It's usually at 11 a.m., but I had a prior meeting that I needed to attend. That's why it was a little late this time. And so, yeah, thank you very much for watching. As I said, if you do still want to smash that thumbs up button after me destroying my mouse, then please do that. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your video making day, And of course, I will see you again in the Friday Feeling live stream, where there may be a special guest. Until then, stay tuned to vidIQ on all the social media outlets that we have. Just search for vidIQ on Twitter, Facebook. You'll find us there. Enjoy the rest of your video making day. Bye for now.